So we have a breakthrough. Now how will things develop from here?
He's just gone and reminded us yet again of what a threat he carries.
Forward it goes. Cristiano Ronaldo. Alaba gets it away. Cristiano Ronaldo. Still they trail, and time is ticking away. Cristiano Ronaldo. Pulls it out wide. Clears it out of harm's way. Gets the chance. Towering header! Oh, denied brilliantly!
Oh, that's a sparkling save. Absolutely sparkling. His reflexes work ultra sharp.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, no doubt someone is being given special treatment here.
Yeah, now that he's scored, this defence is on high alert whenever he goes anywhere.
Cristiano Ronaldo! A collective sigh of relief from the defence. Marquinhos. And here's Messi. Marquinhos. Mbappe. Marquinhos. Oh, really good feet from him. Goes for it! Lewandowski, and it's Neymar. Had a shot! And the keeper's relieved to see that disappear wide.
Look, I'm sure he'll deny it, Peter, but the keeper didn't have that covered.
Tries to get it forward quickly. Hoists it forward. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo! Just sails past the upright.
Oh, how close was that to going in? It only required the smallest of tweaks.
Marquinhos. De Bruyne. Messi.
This year's PS has admitted it's not a full sequel, but there are some changes to the gameplay. But is it enough to justify a purchase? Sport games are having a tough time of it at the moment. With next-gen gaming on the way, the likes of Madden NFL 21 and NBA 2K21 have massively underwhelmed with their last current-gen release before the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X come out, whilst FIFA 21 will need to make big strides to avoid similar criticism. EA and 2K Sports released the aforementioned titles with plenty of fanfare and a sizable price tag to boot, making it difficult not to conclude that both publishers were taking their consumer base for a ride. Both scored poorly in our reviews for good reasons. They either lacked new features or the content within was so similar to last year's edition that it seemed more like a patch than a brand new installment. There are caveats, of course. We are living through
De
a
Bruyne.
global pandemic, and that has surely
It
taken
has
its
gone
toll
through
on
to
the
him.
development of games that
Messi.
need real innovation
That
each
intervention
year.
was very
Yet that should
necessary.
have been the basis for a more honest approach to this
And it's
year's
played
releases.
forward.
And that's why we begin this review
Alaba.
commending Konami for what we feel is
Alaba
excellent
goes
expectation management.
Good challenge. He just
eFootball's
stood firm.
2021 season update is exactly what it says it is.
Well
In
marshaled there
fact,
because
it
he was
stays so
denied the
true to its
opportunity
name that it's hard to
turn.
discern any real changes beyond the club transfers that have occurred in the past 12 months. The important
Cristiano
detail
Ronaldo.
here is that Konami played this one as straight
Keeps
as they
everyone
could.
guessing.
This transparency is welcome, particularly in the sector of the video
Puts it
games market
across.
that has been getting away with inadequate
Good
annual
stuff. This
updates
is
for
better.
far too long.
This isn't the time to talk about
eFootball's
risks now, Jim, is it? They
2021
just have to
season
hurl
update really is
everything at
as
it
close
and
to a
hope for a
patch or
break.
annual update as
Just
you're
has to be
ever
done.
going to find. The title screen is different, but the menus are identical. The user experience hasn't changed at all. My club
what
is
a
identical,
wonderful
and
stop.
so are the other
Well, that was
modes.
high-class goalkeeping
There really
there
is
to
little that
back
gives
up
you the
his
sense that this
high-class
is a new
wage.
game, which in a perverse way is quite refreshing. Of course, rolling out what is effectively just an update will leave you open to criticism too, as problems that became apparent through the life cycle of 2020 largely still remain. Remember, this is a game we said was turning stale last year. There is no other game in the sports market that needs an overhaul of its menus and design more desperately
Keep
than
calm and carry on.
navigating
That's
through
the
the
job
game
in
is
a nutshell
painful.
now.
The constant updates on the health of the game and online experience are valuable, in that nothing is hidden from the user, but they clog the screen and just get in the way.
Chance to
Fox
break.
has managed to get away with this because they were seen as quirky and charming aspects of a Japanese publisher
Well, the
wading
lead may
into
be
the world
fragile,
of
but
football,
the
but that
keeper
was
was
the case in
focused and strong.
2006. It's 2020 now, and all the poorly translated English phrases just make the game feel amateurish. Add to that the arduous nature of navigating the menus and you are left with a pretty frustrating user experience. Not far behind is the presentation and matchday experience, something that truthfully needs to be completely rebuilt.
Peter, they
The
have to
commentary
fight the
is so
onset of
outdated now that it's
desperation
almost
and keep
laughable.
enough cool heads
If you're not
to
hearing
still
repetitive
deliver.
lines, you're just not hearing much at all. Matches have regular spells of dead air that leave you wondering if the game has glitched
Cristiano
out.
Ronaldo.
When Peter Drury or Jim Began finally
Hit
emerge
long
from
and
the void,
direct.
it's often to deliver a short generic
calm
burst of
and carry
dialogue
on.
that
That's
doesn't
the
really
job
tell
in a
you much
nutshell
more
now.
than what you're seeing. Painted against the anecdotal commentary in 2K or Madden, it makes you realize how far behind CS
Throw
fallen.
in.
Crowd noise needs an overhaul too. There just isn't the same dynamism as in FIFA, and popular terrorist chants are almost nowhere to be heard. It's not the
Crunching
be-all and
tackle.
end-all, but you'd hope next gens
Peter,
will be
they
more
have to
layered
fight
and
the onset
subsequently
of
more engrossing.
desperation and keep
Of
enough
course,
cool heads to
gameplay is
still
what we're
deliver.
most interested in, and there have been some noticeable tweaks, despite very few clues suggesting there would be pre-release. 2020 played beautifully, but there were a number of aggravating quirks that could spoil
It's
games,
looking like
some
the
of
end.
which appear
If
to have
anything's
been
going to
addressed in
happen,
this year's
it's got to
release.
happen now.
The first
it's looking
immediately
like too
obvious
little too
improvement
late,
is the
but they are giving
responsiveness.
it all they
Everything from
have.
passing to dribbling feels tighter and more
Held by the
fluid,
keeper.
which compared to the occasionally sluggish
De
moments
Bruyne.
in 2020 is very promising. Advanced
Mbappe.
shooting remains tricky to perfect, but so rewarding when you get it right. Finesse dribbling, now into its
There's a
second
real
year, has
appetite from
also
them to
received marked
finally put this
improvements
game to
that
bed.
really takes it on from where
Will
it was
they?
last year. If, like us, you find a successful dribble almost as good as scoring a goal, this is the
plays
for
it
you.
forward.
The artificial intelligence is more susceptible
better
to
pass
falling
there.
for one of the many skills pulled off on the right
This is good
analog
ball
stick, and
retention,
with a
and
little
it should
work
be
you'll have
enough
an
from
array
here,
of
but
feints
they
at your
want to double their
disposal.
advantage.
It just makes a football sim more fun. The collision engine has also been
he's going
fine-tuned,
long.
leading to much more realistic outcomes when tackling or challenging a
Have here their
50-50.
final chance.
After what feels like years of grumbles over how clunky and unpredictable it can
Played
be,
it short.
this is welcome news. eFootball's 2021 season
Cristiano
update
Ronaldo.
screenshot.
So
Arsenal
time
are one
is
of many
nearly up.
licensed
One
clubs
final
since
twist,
2021. Credit, Konami. We also have to commend Konami on the pricing
Bruyne.
structure, with the eFootball's 2021 season update coming in at an extremely fair
Mbappe.
£25 for the base game.
Sergio Ramos.
Again, this shows a self-awareness and humility we've never really
Forward it
seen in the
goes.
sport game realm. Of course,
De
Tips is
Bruyne.
almost online only now,
Plays it out to
with
the
become
flank.
a legend and Master League falling by the
Marquinhos, big
wayside in
chance!
recent years, and although our feeling is
Just
that
couldn't
gameplay has
quite turn it
improved,
in.
online
It's good
still
delivery,
suffers from
though.
familiar
Clearly
issues.
trying to draw the
Some of the
goalkeeper
computer
into
defending
an
is
area he
woefully
doesn't want to go.
inadequate, whilst unexpected player switching can drive you insane when trying to defend. There are still places for the offline gamer, but my club is where Konami has really staked its reputation over the last few years. Microtransactions exist, but as has always been the case, the abundance of ways in which you can earn my club coins still keeps PS in good credit. The overriding feeling though is that PS just
Sergio
isn't
Ramos.
doing enough with what it has built. My club is
Van
fun
Dijk.
and has more layers
to get
than
it forward
perhaps it was
quickly.
first given credit for. It is a legitimately good take
De
on the
Bruyne.
ultimate team game modes that propel
Alaba.
EA into the stratosphere.
Crossfield, changing
However,
the point of attack.
there's just nowhere near the level of content that a mode
Final
like this should
seconds
have.
now.
We said in our 2020 review that it was turning stale, and
Gets
we're
it
now
back.
at the point where
That's a
serious
foul.
questions have to be
Decision for
asked.
the referee.
There's never been much in the way of competitions and challenges in my
And
club,
it's Neymar.
on or offline, and when compared to EA and 2K
He's
it
got
just
the ball
looks
glued to
embarrassing.
his feet.
There was literally no content on launch day either, which is hugely disappointing and just strange.
He's gone
The
for
bottom
goal.
line is that it's still the best football
He's
game
pulled off
around,
a fine
which says
save.
as much about
Well,
the
what can I
competition
say?
as it does
Truly
itself.
wonderful goalkeeper.
For those yet to make the switch to PS, this will be worth every penny, but for the hardcore fans there's little here for you beyond updated players, kits, and transfers. The licensed clubs like Manchester United and Juventus still deliver a level of authenticity you can't get elsewhere, and you can't argue with the £30
Last-ditch
price
defending,
tag.
but that'll do.
Old problems feel all the more prominent now
Ramos.
though, and the onus really is on Konami to put their all into PS
Over to the
2021.
left.
With the gameplay where it currently is,
Cuts
all
it
the
out.
foundations are in place for it to be the
Added
best
time is
football
up,
sim in
and
decades.
there goes the
But
whistle.
they must take a sledgehammer
Fabulous
to my club and
entertainment,
actually
drama in
provide its
spades,
user
and
base
no one
with
would
something
have
to
argued
do
with a
beyond
draw,
the relatively
but they
mundane
have
ranked
lost it.
online
You
matches.
look back on the game,
All
then, Jim.
eyes
It
therefore
can
are
be
on
difficult
September
at times playing in front of your own
2021.
fans if you're not living up to the
eFootball
expectations.
2021
I think with confidence
season
looking a
update
little
review.
fragile at the moment. They
In
were
short,
playing not
nothing
to lose
less
more
or
than
more
trying
than
to
what
win,
was
and I
promised.
think everything was
Still
just
the
a
best
letdown
football
because
game around, but its problems feel more glaring a year later. Pros: gameplay is responsive and fluid, whilst dribbling is more accessible and easier to pull off. Cons: my club desperately needs a reboot and the lack of content at launch is almost criminal. Presentation feels outdated now, it's time for an overhaul. Score: 7/10.